everybody, and welcome to another Amicable Divorce Discussion or AD Talk. My name is Tracy Ann Moore Grant. You don't have to remember all that, and I am the founder of the Amicable Divorce Network. I am joined today by Laurie Frazier, whose book you can't stop or not stop and look at, I gotta say. It's called Get a Fucking Divorce Already. And I told her we're not afraid of using a few cuss words to get our point across. Laurie is an amazing spirit and is actually a spiritual teacher and has been for 40 years, which is amazing. Whatever her skincare routine is, we all need a tip, and focuses on mindfulness despite the colorful language and the title of her book. So Laurie, introduce yourself a little bit better to our listeners. Tell us about you.
Hi. Yeah, I've always kind of been on a spiritual path my whole life. I had a degree in theology and world religions from Boston College when I was 22 years old. I'm a Chopra certified instructor, as in Deepak. So I teach meditation, mindfulness, Ayurveda. I'm an Ayurvedic wellness counselor, and that's a 5,000-year-old tradition of mind, body, spirit, wellness, and yoga and meditation came from that branch of life, Ayurveda. And I've been a life coach for probably 12 years. So people come to me with a lot of relationship stuff. You know, that's usually when people are in a transition, that's when they call on someone like myself. And when things, usually when there's breakup or there's, a divorce or, stuff isn't working. So I've gotten plenty of stories from my own family, my friends, and all my clients. And it just felt like this was the book that needed to be written first.
So tell me about the book. What is it about? Who should pick up this book and read it?
Okay, so regardless of the title, the title is an attention grabber, Get a Fucking Divorce Already. It's really not a pro-divorce book. I say it's a pro-follow your heart book. I feel like people get stuck in a marriage, and unlike a career, you would never say, I, Laurie, take the legal profession, till death do our part.
You kind of do, but you do have more choices.
I want to leave it be an artist or something, so you never know. But somehow we're expected to, most people get married in their 20s when they hardly even know who they are. And, they're expected to stay with that same person for life. And, the world isn't the same anymore, where people used to buy a house, stay in that same house and that same company and career for 40 years. We have so much information, knowledge available to us. You probably changed law firms or whatever several times, created things yourself. I mean, we're constantly moving and changing. And if our partner doesn't change with us, sometimes we grow apart. And the book is trying to say, like, that's okay to grow apart, and it's okay to do something different. And most people think that somebody has to be the bad guy in order to get a divorce. And like, you want to get a divorce, so you want to find something bad about this other person. Whereas it could be much more amicable.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, this just isn't working for me anymore.
Yeah.
And
That really hits a note with me, because one of the reasons I founded the Amicable Divorce Network is because as a professional, I was stuck in this family law system of where I had a really good, nice client. They have, a perfectly fine spouse, but in order for me to get my client what he or she wanted, I had to say negative things about the other person. And then they were expected to be excellent co-parents together afterwards. And it's just completely illogical. And so, with the amicable divorce process, we try to remove that negativity, focus on the future, so to speak. And it sounds like your book is, really on point with that as well, and giving that similar advice. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a whole section with several chapters just about children, like how to be united when you tell your kids that you're going to part, and how to help them feel safe and secure. And I think it's important not to tell them separately. When you tell them separately, you automatically create an us and them, situation where to get together with your partner. And, maybe you're the one that's being divorced and you don't want it, but we need to learn to look beyond our own self and our own emotions and how we feel about it for your children and put them first instead of, using them as pawns and tools to hurt the partner that wanted the divorce or, whatever is happening. So.
Is the book geared mostly towards people who are looking at deciding whether or not to get a divorce, or would it be a useful tool for people in different stages of a relationship?
Actually, on purpose, I've had happily married people read the book. I have young daughters that are like 30, in their late 20s, early 30s, and they've given it to all their friends, and their friends are calling it, this is like a great relationship Bible. So I think it's really great for anyone that if you've ever been in a relationship, if you ever want to be in a relationship and create a healthy relationship, if you're not in a relationship, will help you evaluate your past relationships and maybe what went wrong. It's good for people that want to have a better, deeper, more intimate relationship. And I also really wrote this for people that are unhappy and struggling and feel like they can't go against their religion, their family, their societal programming, that this is just bad and wrong and what I want doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's really about teaching people how to give their heart the first vote, and that it's okay to want what you want and to get what you want. And I really believe that if you're in a relationship and you don't want to be there, it's not going to be, when we do what's best for us, it'll be best for everybody in our space. I would never want to be married to someone who was just staying with me because, his church said he should.
Yeah.
Or he made a commitment.
Right.
I have a big section in there, the difference between duty and devotion. And I think that's really important too.
Yeah, very interesting. So lots of good tips in the book, it sounds like, for anybody, single, looking at divorce, happily married, across the board, just to really kind of learn how to relate to yourself and others and move forward in a healthy way with really sort of a spiritual spin on it. So if somebody's watching, how can they get your book?
It's on Amazon, and I just uploaded it to Ingram Sparks. If you're like one of those independent bookstores that would prefer to order from there. So yeah, and I have a website, getafuckingdivorce.com or just lauriefrazier.com. It goes to the same place. On all social media, I'm Maven of Moksha, Moksha.
Okay.
And Moksha is a Sanskrit sutra that just means liberation, freedom, nirvana. It's, transcending all your drama, your past, letting go of all that kind of stuff. So
we could all use a little bit of that, couldn't we? Definitely some good tips. Well, Laurie, thank you very much for joining us today to tell us about your amazing new book. If you guys are interested in getting it, you can go to lauriefrazier.com and look on Amazon. You can't forget that title. It's Get a Fucking Divorce Already, and it's full of good tips for everybody. So Laurie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for having me.